All right. So a lot of you may have already known about this, but we're going to talk about it right now. Last night, after I ate dinner, I got a notification on my phone that Trump signs an order freezing visas for foreign workers through the end of the year. He signed an executive order Monday, freezes new visas for foreign workers. He's claiming because of coronavirus. He's claiming because he's trying to preserve jobs. We have high unemployment in the United States. Which visas are affected? H-1B. Those are your professional working visas. H-2B. Those are your seasonal workers who are coming to work in hotels and restaurants. And H-4s, which are your spouses of the people working as professionals or specialty workers. Ls, those are your intra-company transferees. Somebody who works for General Motors in Europe wants to be transferred to General Motors in America. Sorry, you can't. He has suspended all of those programs, the H-1B program, the H-2B program, the H-4 program, and the L-1A and the L-1B program through December 31st. He has also extended the ban on issuing immigrant visas to employment-based petitions and family members on the waiting list, also through December 31st. The only people who can walk into an embassy and get a green card right now are those who are married to U.S. citizens, those who are children under 21 of a U.S. citizen, those who are parents of U.S. citizens. If you have an H-1B visa currently, you can still come to the United States. If you have an H-2B visa currently, you can come to the United States. If you have an H-4, you can come. If you have an L, you can come. He also stopped the J-1 program, but if you already have the visa in your passport, you can come. If you have some other type of visa, for example, a tourist visa, you have a B-1, B-2 visa, you can still come to the United States, and then you can change your status to an H-1B, or you can change your status in the United States to an L. What he has prevented people from doing, is he's prevented people from getting a new visa in their passport. You can always come to the United States with any visa that you have in your passport, and then after you come here, change to a different status, including H-1Bs, H-2Bs, H-4s, or Ls. Now, healthcare workers and researchers combating coronavirus, university professors, people working in food processing, people working in agriculture, and people working in the seafood industries are exempt. This will all be through December 31st. So whatever you can do, if you can make it into the United States, you can still do. But he has stopped processing all of these visas in other countries. He's also stopped processing employment-based petitions for green cards in other countries. He's also stopped family-based petitions, which kind of to me, when you think about it, is how hypocritical he can be. Because when he came and became president of the United States, he said to the American people, I'm not against immigration. I'm for immigration. What I am against is people coming to the United States and violating their visas and overstaying their time and then, bucking the system and getting a green card. What we really want is people to stay in their home countries and follow the law. And if you follow the law, we have no problem with you. So what did he do 3 years into his presidency? Those people who are staying in other countries, who are following the law, who said, I'm going to stay in my home country, I'm going to follow the law, and I'm going to wait my turn to be able to come to America on a waiting list, you're all effed, at least till the end of the year. But if you came to the United States and you overstayed your time and you marry an American citizen and you violated the law, hey, welcome. You're welcome. So how hypocritical. You know what this ultimately does is it teaches people not to follow the law. Because if you follow the law, you get screwed. It's teaching people, come get to the United States no matter however the hell you can get here, and then figure it out when you're here. That's what it's teaching people. It's not teaching people to stay home and wait for their green cards and wait for their visas. It's teaching people to come to America. So it's completely hypocritical and counterintuitive to what he ultimately wants, which is people not to overstay their time. So what's going to happen with all of this? Well, ultimately, people will ultimately be able to come to America on work visas. People are ultimately going to be able to come to America with green cards. You are ultimately going to be able to have your children come. You are ultimately going to have your spouse come to the United States on an F2A. This is coronavirus related. This is politically motivated for his reelection in November. And we'll see what happens. Certainly if Biden wins, this will all be scrapped. And I think there is a lot of American companies that are against this. For example, Microsoft President Brad Smith said on Twitter, "Now is not the time to cut our nation off from the world's talent or create uncertainty and anxiety. Immigrants play a vital role at our company and support our country's critical infrastructure. They are contributing to this country at a time when we need them most." Now, American advocacy groups began pushing back on the order quickly after news of its contents was released. Shavari Dalal Delaney, director of the government relations at the American Immigration Lawyers Association, she said, "We are extremely concerned that such a broad prohibition on legal immigration, whether an individual is coming permanently or temporarily, will negatively impact our country's ability to recover from a global health and economic crisis." I am an immigration lawyer. I am not a constitutional scholar. I am also not a scholar on presidential power. But I am pretty dangerous. I know enough to have a conversation. And what I don't understand is where our Congress is. Where are our senators? Where are our members of House of Representatives? This Congress, for the last 3 years, has given ultimate power to Donald Trump. Since when can President Trump or any president make laws? They can't. Not under our Constitution. Presidents can make regulations to enforce a particular law, to make a regulation to say, this is the procedure we're going to follow as per this law. For example, if you marry an American citizen, the law says if, in the Immigration Nationality Act, if you're married to an American citizen, you're an immediate relative, you can adjust your status. Well, how do you do this? What is the process? That is what the president is required to do in a regulation. He enforces the law. He makes the rules on how the law is to be enforced. But he's not allowed to change laws. He's not allowed to ignore laws, which is basically what he's doing. Where is the Congress in all of this? They passed a law that says H-1B visas, 60,000 people a year, unlimited number of L-1 visas. They passed a law that said if you are a child over the age of 21, a son and daughter of a person over the age of 21, you can come to America with a green card, an F2B. You wait on the waiting list, you come. Where's Congress in all of this? Why are they not saying anything? Why did they give all this power to Trump? Since when did he become king? We'll see what happens. I mean, I for one, I'm not qualified to sue. Maybe I am qualified to sue Trump. I got to think about this. But somebody's going to sue him who knows the Constitution very, very well. I can't believe that this will be allowed to at least not go through the courts and see what happens. The Trump administration also said they plan to soon announce, by the way, before I even go to the next Trump disaster, that should not prevent anybody from filing for their family member. That should not prevent anybody from processing their immigration cases for their family members in another country, because this is a 6-month delay on your immigration case. That's what this is. This is not a permanent, there is no more H-1Bs. This is not a permanent, I can't file for my family member anymore. This is basically Trump saying 6-month delay. And we'll see what happens with the election, where coronavirus is, what the courts have to say about this. We have not seen the end of this, one way or the other. But that doesn't mean you should not be filing or doing things. It's not like you can't ever do it. Trump says for the next 6 months. That's what his proclamation says. I think the courts are going to say, he can't even say for the next week, but we got to wait for the courts to say something. So we'll see what happens. And by the way, also, if you're in the United States, All of this doesn't apply to you. It's only for people outside of the United States. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.